So, Hare Krishna, everybody. Thank you very much for joining. And we will start by reading the Ekadasi Katha.
Okay, so today is Nirjal Pandava Ekadasi, and the glories are described in the Brahma Vairat Purana in a conversation between Vyasadeva and Bhimsen. Once Bhimsen, the younger brother of Yudhishthira, inquired from this great sage Srila Vyasadeva, "O most learned and worshipful grandfather, please hear my request. My elder brother Yudhishthira, Mother Kunti Devi, brothers Arjun, Nakul, and Sahadev, and Draupadi do not eat anything on the day of Ekadashi. They especially Yudhishthira, always tells me that I should also fast on Ekadashi. I always tell them that though I know that to fast on Ekadashi is an injunction of the scriptures, I cannot bear my hunger, and therefore I'm unable to fast. I can give it charity as per my capacity. I can worship Lord Kesha with proper rules and regulations, but I cannot fast. So please instruct me how I can obtain the result of Ekadashi without having to fast." On hearing these words of Bhimsen, Sri Vyasadeva said, "O Bhim, if you want to go to the heavenly planets and avoid the hellish planets, then you must refrain from eating on both the Ekadashis of each month." Bhim said, "O great sage, it is impossible for me to observe fast on 24 Ekadashis every year, as instructed by the Lord. To speak of fasting day and night, I cannot even tolerate my hunger for even a moment. The fire of hunger, named as a vrika, is always present within my stomach, and it is extinguished only by ferocious eating. But with great endeavor, I can fast only one day in a year. Therefore, please instruct me about a vow that I can follow to attain auspiciousness both in this life and the next." Srila Vyasadeva said, "O king, you have already heard from me about the Vedic religious principles and the duties of the human beings. But in this age of Kali, not everyone is capable of following those rules and regulations. Therefore, I will tell you about a sublime method by which you can achieve great results. This method is the essence of all the Puranas. Anyone who observes the Ekadashis of waning and waxing moons by fasting never goes to hell." Hearing Vasudeva's words, that strongest warrior, Bhimsen, became frightened and shivered like a leaf on a banyan tree and said, "Oh, grandfather, what should I do? I'm totally unable to fast twice a month throughout the year. Therefore, oh my Lord, kindly instruct me about one vow that affords the most merit and how by observing it I can achieve all benefits." Then Srila Vyasa replied, "The Ekadashi which occurs during the waxing moon in the month of May-June, during the sun's presence in either Taurus or Gemini Rasi, is called Nirjal Ekadashi. One should observe total fast even from drinking water in this Ekadashi. On this day, one should perform achaman for purification by drinking that amount of water in which a single mustard seed or a drop of gold can be immersed. One should place the said amount of water in his palm, held in such a way as to resemble a cow's ear. If one drinks more or less water than this, it will amount to drinking wine. One must not eat anything at all on this Ekadashi, otherwise his vow will be broken. One should not drink even water from the moment of sunrise from the day of Ekadashi until the sunrise on the day of Dwadashi. In this way, if one strictly observes this Ekadashi without drinking water, then he can attain the result of observing all the Ekadashis of the year. In the early morning of the day of Dwadashi, one should take bath and give gold and water in charity to the Brahmins. Thereafter, the follower should gladly eat with the Brahmins. O Bhimsen, now please hear about the piety one accumulates by observing this Ekadashi. By following this Ekadashi, one can achieve the result of following all the Ekadashis through the year. Once Lord Vishnu, who holds a conch disc, a club, and a lotus flower in his hand, told me, if a person gives up all varieties of religion and surrenders unto me, and follows this Nirjal Ekadashi, which is very dear to me, he is certainly relieved of all sinful reactions. One cannot attain the supreme destination by giving wealth in charity or attain any benefit by following smarta rules and regulations in this Kali Yuga. In fact, the Vedic religious principles have been extinct in this age of Kali, which is polluted with various faults. O son of Vayu, what more can I tell you? Eating is actually prohibited in all the Ekadashis, and even the drinking of water is prohibited on Nirjal Ekadashi. By observing this Ekadashi, one achieves the piety of visiting all the holy places. At the time of death, such a person is not approached by the fierce-looking Yamduts. Rather, he is approached by the divine-looking Vishnuduts to be transferred to the abode of Vishnu. If one gives water and cows in charity after observing this Ekadashi, then he is freed from all his sinful activities. When the other Pandavas heard about the glories of this Ekadashi, they resolved to observe it. From that day onward, Bhimsen began observing this Nirjal Ekadashi, which became famous as Pandav Nirjal or Bhimseni Ekadashi. By following this Ekadashi, sinful activities as huge as Sumera or Mandra mountain are at once purged to ashes. O King, Lord Krishna has declared that any pious activities such as taking bath in holy places, giving charity, chanting Vedic mantras, and performing sacrifices that are carried out on this Nirjal Ekadashi day becomes inexhaustible. One who reads or hears the glories of this Ekadashi with devotion goes back to the abode of Vaikuntha. The result one attains by observing the Vab of Amavasya, conjoined with Pratipad, and observing and offering obeisance to the forefathers during the solar eclipse, is attained simply by hearing the glories of this Ekadashi. Pandav Nirjal Ekadashi ki
Jai. So, very important Ekadasi. It is recommended in the scriptures that one should try to follow Ekadasi strictly. It happens every 2 weeks, and ideally, the reason for performing tapasya on Ekadasi is to remember the Lord more, and we try to not eat or drink on Ekadasi if that's at all possible. One second. Yeah. Can you hear us? Everybody can hear us?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Okay. Kaushalya Maaji, just check your side, if you can't hear.
Yes, I can hear you now, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Good. Good. Okay. Let me just switch over to the computer. But the best thing to do is come out. Yeah. Just 1 second.
You're on mute, Prabhu.
Best thing to do is try to fast completely. This on every Ekadasi. That's ideal. And it's not that you fast and don't remember God. The idea is to fast and remember God more. That's the whole idea of Ekadasi. So this one, and the Pandavas used to follow that. Every Ekadasi they would fast. Nirjal, they would not drink or eat. So Bhimsen, having this ferocious fire in his stomach, said to Lord Krishna, I cannot fast because that's good. I cannot fast because this fire in my stomach is so aggressive. I have to eat. And Lord Krishna was very kind. He gave him this concession of following this one fast. And by following that one fast, it's as if he's done all 26 fasts 24. Or 24 fasts in the year. So that's a concession that's given to him. Now, whether that concession applies to everyone is debatable. Some devotees say that by fasting on Pandava Nirjal Ekadasi, we also get the same benefit as Bhim. But actually, Krishna gave that benediction to Bhim, not necessarily to everybody. But we know also the Lord is very compassionate. And we know in this age of Kali Yuga, it is quite hard to do tapasya. So at least on one Ekadasi, if we avoid eating grains, beans, or drinking anything, including water, then we can plead to the Lord, my dear Lord. You know our situation. So please allow us this one Ekadasi to do and consider it as if we've done fasting on all the Ekadasis. But that's not a given. I think that's something that we petition the Lord, my dear Lord. Please allow this to take place. So anyway, many devotees fast on this day, Nirjal, without water, for this particular reason, that this concession is open, available. But as I said, I'm not convinced that that is the case, because there was a special concession given to Bhim. Anyway, having said that, are there any questions or any comments? Happy to discuss further at all on Ekadasi. Otherwise, it's always a pleasure to hear Vishnu Sahasranam, especially from Radhika, because she sings it so sweetly and with devotion. And on Ekadasi day, to hear the 1,000 names of Vishnu is amazing. So, Radhika, would you like to share your screen?
Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji.
Very good. And you are welcome to introduce and, as you like.
I think you gave a very good intro. It is so auspicious to listen to the names of the Lord. Please try to listen to the names. It is more powerful than chanting it.
Right.
We shall start.
Yes, that's great.
Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vighnopashantaye Yasyat Viraja Dvirada Vaktradhya Parisadhya Parasatam Vignyam Nignanti Satatam Vishwakshena Kramashaye Vyasam Vasishtanaptaram Shaktirporthamakal Parasharatmajam Vande Shukatatam Taponidhim Vyasaya Vishnurupaya Vyasarupaya Vishnave Namo Vai Brahmanidhaye Vashisthaya Namo Namaha Avikaraya Shuddhaya Nityaya Paramatmane Sadeikarupa Rupaya Vishnave Sarvajishnave यस्य स्मरणमात्रेण जन्म संसारबन्धनात् विमुच्यते नमस्तस्मै विष्णवे प्रभविष्णवे ॐ नमो विष्णवे प्रभविष्णवे श्रीवैश्वम्पायन उवाच श्रुत्वा धर्मान् शेषेण पावनानि स शर्वशः युधिष्ठिरः शान्तनवं पुनरेवाभ्यभाषत युधिष्ठिर उवाच किमेकं दैवतं लोके किं वाप्येकं परायणम् स्तुवन्तः कमर्चन्त प्राप्नुयुर्माणवाशुभम् को धर्मः सर्वधर्माणां भवतः परमो मतः किं जपन्मुच्यते जन्तुर्जन्म संसारबन्धनात् श्रीभीष्मर उवाच जगत्प्रभुं देवदेवमनन्तं पुरुषोत्तमं स्तुवन्नाम सहस्रेण पुरुषः सततोत्थितः तमेव चार्चयन् नित्यं भक्त्या पुरुषमव्ययम् ध्यायन् स्तुवन् नमस्यंश यजमानस्तमेव च अनादिनिधनं विष्णुं सर्वलोकमहेश्वरं लोकाध्यक्षं स्तुवन् नित्यं सर्वदुःखादिको भवेत् ब्रह्मण्यं सर्वधर्मज्ञं लोकानां कीर्तिवर्धनं लोकनाथं महद्भूतं सर्वभूतभवोद्भवम् एष मे सर्वधर्माणां धर्मोऽधिकतमो मतः यद्भक्त्या पुण्डरीकाक्षं स्तवेरच्चैनरः सदा परमं यो महत्तेज परमं यो महत्तपः परमं यो महद्ब्रह्म परमं यः परायणं पवित्राणां पवित्रं यो मङ्गलानां च मङ्गलं दैवतं देवतानां च भूतानां यो ययः पिता यतः सर्वाणि भूतानि भवन्त्यादियुगागमे यस्मिंश्च प्रलयं यान्ति पुनरेव युगक्षये तस्य लोकप्रधानस्य जगन्नाथस्य भूपते विष्णोर्नाम सहस्रं ने शृणु पापभयापहम् यानि नामानि गम्नामि विख्यातानि महात्मनः ऋषिभिः परिगीतानि तानि वक्ष्यामि भूतये विशिर्नाम्नां सहस्रस्य वेदव्यासो महामुनिः छन्दोनुस्तुप् तथा देवो भगवान् देवकीसुतः अमृतांशुद्भवो बीजं शक्तिर्देवकीनन्दनः त्रिसामाहृदयं तस्य शान्त्यर्थे विनियुज्यते विष्णुं जिष्णुं महाविष्णुं प्रभविष्णुं महेश्वरम् अनेकरूपदैत्यान्तं नमामि पुरुषोत्तमम् अस्य श्रीविष्णोर्दिव्यसहस्रनामस्तोत्रमहामन्त्रस्य श्रीवेदव्यासो भगवान् ऋषिः अनुस्तुप्छन्दः श्रीमहाविष्णुः परमात्मा श्रीमन्नारायणो देवता अमृतांशुद्भवो भानुरिति बीजम् देवकी नन्दन सृष्टेति शक्तिः उद्भवः क्षोभनो देव इति परमो मन्त्रः शङ्खभृन्नन्दकी चक्रीति कीलकम् शाङ्गधन्वागधातरयित्रस्थम् रथाङ्गपाणिरक्ष्योप इति नेत्रम् त्रिसामासामगः सामेति कवचम् आनन्दं परब्रह्मेति योनिः ऋतुसुदर्शनकालेति दिग्बन्धः श्रीविश्वरूप इति ध्यानम् श्रीमहाविष्णुप्रीत्यर्थे सहस्रनाम जपे विनियोगः ध्यानम् क्षीरोधन्वत्प्रदेशे शुचिमणिविलसत्सैकते मुक्तिकानां मालाक्लुप्तासनस्थस्फटिकमणिनिभैर्मुक्तिकैर्मण्डिताङ्गः शुभ्रैरप्रैरतप्रैरुपरिविरचितैर्मुक्तपीयूषवर्षैः आनन्दीन पुनीयाधरिनलिलगधाशङ्कपाणिर्मुकुन्दः बहुपादौ यस्य नाभिर्वियदसुरनिलश्चन्द्रसूर्योच्चनेत्रे कर्णावासा शिरोध्यो मुखमपि दहनो यस्य वास्तेयमब्धिः अन्तस्थं यस्य विश्वं सुरनरखगो भोगि गन्धर्वदैत्यैः चित्रं रम्यते तं त्रिभुवनवपुषं विष्णुमीशं नमामि ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय शान्ताकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभाङ्गं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिहृद्यानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णुं भवभयहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथं मेघश्यामं पीठकौसेयवासं श्रीवत्साङ्गं कौस्तुभोद्भासिताङ्गं पुण्योपेतं पुण्डरीकायताक्षं विष्णुं वन्दे सर्वलोकैकनाथं नमः समस्तभूतानामादिभूताय भूभृते अनेकरूपरूपाय विष्णवे प्रभविष्णवे शशङ्खचक्रं शकिरीतकुण्डलं सपीतवस्त्रं सरसीरुहेक्षणं सहारवक्षस्थलस्थोभिकौस्तुभं नमामि विष्णुं शिरसा चतुर्भुजम् छायायां पारिजातस्य हेमसिंहासनोपरि आसीनमम्बुदस्याममायताक्षमलङ्कृतम् चन्द्राननं चतुर्बाहुं श्रीवत्साङ्कितवक्षसं रुक्मिणी सत्यभामाख्यां सहितं कृष्णमाश्रये ॐ विश्वं विष्णुर्वषत्कारो भूतभव्यभवत्प्रभुः भूतकृद्भूतभृद्भावो भूतात्मा भूतभावनः भूतात्मा परमात्मा च मुक्तानां परमागतिः अव्ययपुरुषः साक्षी क्षेत्रज्ञो शरीरेव च योगो योगविदां नेता प्रधानपुरुषेश्वरः नारसिंहवपुः श्रीमान् केशवः पुरुषोत्तमः सर्वशिवस्थाणुर्भूताधिर्निधिरव्ययः सम्भवो भावनो भर्ता प्रथम प्रभुरीश्वरः स्वयंभुः शम्भुरादित्य पुष्कराक्षो महास्वनः अनाधिनिधनो धाता विधाता तुरुत्तमः अप्रमेयो ऋषिकेश पद्मनाभोऽमरप्रभुः विश्वकर्मा मनुस्त्वष्टा स्तविष्ठस्तविरो ध्रुवः अग्राय शाश्वतकृष्णो लोहिताक्षप्रदर्तनः प्रभूतस्तिककुत्थाम पवित्रं मङ्गलं परम् ईशानप्राणतप्राणो ज्येष्ठश्रेष्ठप्रजापतिः हिरण्यगर्भो भूगर्भो माधवो मधुसूदनः ईश्वरो विक्रमी धन्वी मेधावी विक्रमक्रमः अनुत्तमो दुरादर्शकृतज्ञकृतिरात्मवान् सुरेश शरणं शर्म विश्वरेता प्रजाभवः अहः संवत्सरो व्यालप्रत्ययः सर्वदर्शनः अजः सर्वेश्वरः सिद्धः सिद्धिः सर्वाधिरच्युतः वृषाकपिरमेयात्मा सर्वयोगविनिश्रुतः वसुर्वसुमनः सत्यः समात्मा संविदः समगः अमोघ पुण्डरीकाक्षो वृषकर्मा वृषाकृतिः रुद्रो बहुशिरा बभ्रुर्विश्वयोनिसृजिश्रवाः अमृत शाश्वत स्थानुर्वरारोहो महातपाः सर्वगः सर्वविद्भानुर्विश्वक्षेणो जनार्दनः वेदो वेदविदव्यङ्गो वेदाङ्गो वेदवित्कविः लोकाध्यक्षः सुराध्यक्षो धर्माध्यक्षकृताकृतः चतुरात्मा चतुर्व्यूहश्चतुर्धंशश्चतुर्भुजः प्राजिष्णुर्भोजनं भोक्ता सहिष्णुर्जगदाजितः अनघो विजयोजेता विश्वयोनिपुनर्वसुः उपेन्द्रो वामनप्रांशुरमोघः सुचिरोजितः अतीन्द्रः सङ्ग्रहः सर्गो धृतात्मा नियमो यमः वेद्यो वैद्यः सदा योगी वीरः माधवो मधुः अतीन्द्रियो महामायो महोत्साहो महाबलः महाबुद्धिर्महावीर्यो महाशक्तिर्महाद्युतिः अनिर्देश्यवपुः श्रीमान् मे आत्मा महाधृतिः महेश्वासो महीभर्ता श्रीनिवासः सताङ्गतिः अनिरुद्धः गोविन्दो गोविदाम्पतिः मरीचिर्दमनो हंसः सुपर्णो भुजगोत्तमः हिरण्यनाभसुतपा पद्मनाभ प्रजापतिः अमृत्युः सर्वदिक्सिंहः सन्दाता सन्धिमान् स्थिरः अजो दुर्मशनः शास्ता विश्वरात्मा सुरारिः गुरुर्गुरुतमो धाम सत्यः सत्यपराक्रमः निमिषो निमिषस्रग्नि वाचस्पतिरुरारधीः अग्रणी ग्रामणी श्रीमान् न्यायो नेता समीरणः सहस्रमूर्धा विश्वात्मा सहस्राक्ष सहस्रपात् आवर्तनो निवृत्तात्मा समृद्धः सम्भ्रमर्थनः अह संवर्तको वह्निनलिलोधरनीधरः सुप्रसाद प्रसन्नात्मा विश्वदित् विश्वभुक् विभुः सत्कर्ता सत्कुतः साधु जह्नुर्नारायणो नरः असङ्ख्येयो प्रमेयात्मा विशिष्ट श्रेष्ठकृच्छितिः सिद्धार्थ सिद्ध संकल्प सिद्धिदः सिद्धिसाधनः वृषा हि वृषभो विष्णुर्वृषपर्वा विशोधरः वर्धनो वर्धमानश्च विविक्तः श्रुतिसागरः सुभुजो दुर्धरो वाह्मी महेन्द्रो वसुदो वसुः नैकरूपो बृहद्रूपः शिपिविष्टप्रकाशनः ओजस्तेजोद्युतिरः प्रकाशात्मा प्रतापनः वृद्धस्पष्टाक्षरो मन्त्रश्चन्द्रांशुर्भास्करद्युतिः अमृतांशुद्भवो भानुः सुरेश्वरः औषधं जगजसेतुः सत्यधर्मपराक्रमः भूतभव्यभवन्नाथ पवनः पावनो नलः कामः कामकृत्कान्तः कामः कामप्रदप्रभुः युगाधिकृत्युदावर्तो नैकमायो महाशनः अदृश्यो व्यक्तरूपश्च सहस्रजितनन्तजित् इष्टो विशिष्ट शिष्ठेष्ट शिखण्डी नरुषो वृषः क्रोधः क्रोधकृत्कर्ता विश्वबाहुर्महीधरः अच्युतप्रथितप्राण प्राणदो वासवानुजः अपां निधिरधिष्ठानम् अप्रमत्र प्रतिष्ठितः स्कन्दस्कन्दधरो दुर्यो वरदो वायुवाहनः वासुदेवो बृहद्भानुरादिदेवः पुरन्दरः अशोकस्तारनस्तार शूरः शौर्यजनेश्वरः अनुकूलशतावर्त पद्मी पद्मनिवेक्षणः पद्मनाभोरविन्दाक्ष पद्मगर्भशरीरभृत् महद्भिरुक्तो वृत्तात्मा महाक्षोकरडध्वजः अतुलशरभो भीमः समयज्ञो हविर्हरिः सर्वलक्षणलक्षण्यो लक्ष्मीवान् समितिञ्जयः विक्षरोरोहितो मार्गो हेतुर्दामोदरः सहः महीधरो महाभागो वेगवानमिताशनः उद्भवः क्षोभनो देव श्रीगर्भः परमेश्वरः करणं कारणं कर्ता विकर्ता गहनो गुहः व्यवसायो व्यवस्थान संस्थान स्थानतो ध्रुवः परदि परमस्पष्टः सुष्ठः पुष्टः सुवेक्षणः रामो विरामो विरजो मार्गो नेयो नयो नयः वीरशक्तिमतां श्रेष्ठो धर्मो धर्मविदुत्तमः वैकुण्ठपुरुष प्राण प्राणद प्रणवप्रतुः हिरण्यगर्भ शत्रुघ्नो व्याप्तो वायुरधोक्षजः ऋतुर्सुदर्शनकाल परमेष्टि परिग्रहः उग्रसंवत्सरो दक्षो विश्रामो विश्वदक्षिणः विस्तारस्थावनस्थानुप्रमाणं बीजमव्ययम् अर्थोऽनर्थो महाकोशो महाभोगो महाधनः अनिर्विन्नस्तविष्टो भूर्धर्मयूपो महामकः नक्षत्रनेमि नक्षत्री क्षामः क्षामः समीहनः यज्ञयज्ञो महीज्यष्टु क्रतुः सत्रं सताङ्गतिः सर्वदर्शी निवृत्तात्मा सर्वज्ञो ज्ञानमुत्तमम् सुव्रतः सुमुखः सूक्ष्मः सुघोषः सुगदः सुहृत् मनोहरोजितक्रोधो वीरभाभुर्विधारणः स्वापनस्ववशो व्यापी नैकात्मा नैककर्मकृत् वत्सरो वत्सलो वत्सी रत्नगर्भोधनेश्वरः धर्मभृद्धर्मकृद्धर्मी सदसक्षरमक्षरम् अविज्ञाता सहस्रांशुर्विधाता कृतलक्षणः कवस्तिनेमिर्सत्त्वस्थः सिंहो भूतमहेश्वरः आदिदेवो महादेवो देवेशो देवभृत्कुरुः उत्तरो गोपतिर्गोप्ता ज्ञानगम्यः पुरातनः शरीरभूतभृद्भोक्ता कपीन्द्रो भूरि दक्षिणः सोमपो मृतपः सोमपुरुचित्पुरुषोत्तमः विनयो जयः सत्यसन्धो धाशारस्सात्पतां पतिः जीवो विनियता साक्षी मुकुन्दो मितविक्रमः अम्बो नितिररन्तात्मा महोदधिशयोऽन्तकः अजो महार्ह स्वाधाव्योजिता मित्रप्रमोदनः आनन्दो नन्दनो नन्द सत्यधर्मात्रिविक्रमः महर्षिकपिलाचार्य कृतज्ञो मेदिनीपतिः त्रिपदस्थितसाध्यक्ष महाशृङ्गकृतान्तकृत् महावराहो गोविन्द सुषेण कनकाङ्गदी गुह्यो कबीरो गहनो गुप्तश्चक्रगदाधरः वेदास्वाङ्गोजितकृष्णो धृतसङ्कर्षणोचितः वरुणो वृक्षपुष्कराक्षो महामनाः भगवानन्दी वनमाली हलायुधः आदित्यो ज्योतिरादित्य सहिष्णुर्गतिसत्तमः सुदन्वाखण्ड परशुद्धारुणो द्रविणप्रदः दिवस्पृक् सर्वदिव्यासो वाचस्पतिरयो निजः त्रिसामासामगस्साम निर्वाणं भेषजं सन्न्यासकृच्च मच्छान्तो निष्ठा शान्तिपरायणम् शुभाङ्गशान्तिदश्रेष्ठा कुमुदकुवलेशयः गौहितो गोपतिर्गोप्ता वृषभाक्षो वृषप्रियः अनिवर्ती निवृत्तात्मा संसेक्षाक्षेमकृच्छिवः संक्षेप्ताक्षेमकृच्छिवः श्रीवत्सवक्षः श्रीवास श्रीपति श्रीमताम्बरः श्रीधर श्रीश श्रीनिवास श्रीनिधिः श्रीविभावनः श्रीधर श्रीकर श्रेय श्रीमान् लोकत्रयाश्रयः स्वक्षस्वङ्गशतानन्दो नन्दिर्ज्योतिर्गणेश्वरः विजितात्मा विधेयात्मा सत्कीर्तिश्चिन्न संशयः उदीर्णः सर्वतिश्चक्षुरनीश शाश्वतस्थिरः भूषयो भूषणो भूतिर्विशोकशोकनाशनः अर्चिष्मानर्चितः कुम्भो विशुद्धात्मा विशोधनः अनिरुद्धो प्रतितरप्रद्युम्नो मितविक्रमः कालनेमिनिहावीरः शौरिशूरजनेश्वरः त्रिलोकात्मा त्रिलोकेश केशवः केशिहा हरिः कामदेव कामपालः कामी कान्तकृतागमः अनिर्देशवपुर्विष्णुर्वीरोऽनन्तो धनञ्जयः ब्रह्मण्यो ब्रह्मकृत् ब्रह्मा ब्रह्म ब्रह्मविवर्धनः ब्रह्मविद् ब्राह्मणो ब्रह्मी ब्रह्मज्ञो ब्राह्मणप्रियः महाक्रमो महाकर्म महातेजा महोरगः महाक्रतुर्महायज्वा महायज्ञो महाहविः स्तव्यस्तव प्रिय स्तोत्रं स्तुतिस्तोत्रारणप्रियः पूर्णपूर्णयदा पुण्यकीर्तिरनामयः मनोजवस्थितगरो वसुरेता वसुप्रदः वसुप्रदो वासुदेवो वसुमना हविः सत्कति सत्ता सद्भूति सप्तरायणः शूरसेनो यदुश्रेष्ठ सन्निवास सुयामुनः भूतावासो वासुदेव सर्वासु निलयो नलः दर्पः दर्पदो दृप्तो दुर्धरोधापरार्चितः विश्वमूर्तिर्महामूर्तिर्दीप्तमूर्तिरमूर्तिमान् अनेकमूर्तिरव्यक्तशतमूर्तिशताननः एकोनैकस्सवक्कं किं यत् पदमनुत्तमम् लोकबन्धुर्लोकनाथो माधवो भक्तवत्सलः सुवर्णवर्णो हेमाङ्गो वराङ्गश्चन्दनाङ्गदी वीरः विषमशून्यो कृताशीरजलश्चलः अमानी मानदो मान्यो लोकस्वामी त्रिलोककृत् सुमेधा मेधजोधन्य सत्यमेधाधराधरः तेजो वृषोतिथिरः सर्वषष्ठभुताम्बरः प्रग्रहो निग्रहो व्यग्रो नैकशृङ्गो गताग्रजः चतुर्मूर्तिश्चतुर्बाहुश्चतुर्व्यूहश्चतुर्गतिः चतुरात्मा चतुर्भावश्चतुर्वेदविदेकपात् समावर्तो निवृत्तात्मा दुर्जयो दुरतिक्रमः दुर्लभो दुर्गमो दुर्गो दुरावासो दुरारिः शुभाङ्गुलोकसारङ्गस्तुतन्तुस्तन्तुवर्धनः इन्द्रकर्मा महाकर्मा कृतकर्मा कृतागमः उद्भवः सुन्दरः सुन्दो रत्ननाभस्सुलोचनः अर्को वाजसनशृङ्गी जयन्तः सर्वविजयी सुवर्णबिन्दुरक्षोभः सर्ववागीश्वरेश्वरः महाहृदो महाकर्तो महाभूतो महानिधिः कुमुदः कुण्डरः कुण्डप्रजन्यः पावनो निलः अमृतांशोऽमृतवपुः सर्वज्ञः सर्वतोमुखः सुलभः सुव्रतः सिद्धः शत्रुजिच्छत्रुतापनः न्यक्रोधोदुम्बरो स्वास्तच्चानूरान्दनिषूदनः सहस्राक्षी सप्तजिह्वः सप्तैदा सप्तवाहनः अमूर्तिरणघोचिन्त्यो भयकृद्भयनाशनः अनुबृहत्तु शस्तूलो गुणपुन्नुगुणो महान् अधृतस्वधृतस्वास्तप्राग्वंशो वंशवर्धनः भारभृत्पतितो योगी योगीशः सर्वकामतः आश्रमशमनः क्षामः सुपर्णो वायुवाहनः धनुर्धरो धनुर्वेदो दण्डो दमयितादमः अपराजितः सर्वसहो नियन्ता नियमो यमः सत्त्ववान् सात्विका सत्य धर्मपरायणः अभिप्राय प्रियाहोर्ह प्रियकृत्प्रीतिवर्तनः विहाय सगति ज्योति सुरुचित्तभुविक् विभुः रविर्विरोचन सूर्य सविता रविलोचनः अनन्तहुत भुक्भोक्ता सुखतो नैकतोऽग्रजः अनिर्विण्णः सदामर्षि लोकादिस्थानमद्भुतः सनात् सनातनतमः कपिलः कपिरव्ययः स्वस्तिक स्वस्ति कुत्स्वस्ति स्वस्ति बुक् स्वस्ति दक्षिणः अरोधः कुण्डली चक्री विक्रम योजित शासनः शब्दाधिक शब्दसः शिशिरः शर्वरीकरः अक्रूरपेशलो दक्षो दक्षिणः क्षमिनाम्बरः विद्वत्तमो वीतभयपुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनः उत्तारणो दुष्कृतिः पुण्यो दुःस्वप्ननाशनः वीरः रक्षणः सन्तो जीवनपर्यवस्थितः अनन्तरूपोऽनन्तश्रीजितमन्युर्भयापहः चतुरश्रोगवीरात्मा विदिशो व्यादिशो दिशः अनादिपूर्वो लक्ष्मी सुवीरो रुचिराङ्गदः जननो जनजन्मादि भीमो भीमपराक्रमः आधारनिलयो धाता पुष्पहास प्रजागरः ऊर्ध्वगः सप्तताचार प्राणद प्रणव प्रणः प्रमाणं प्राणनिलय प्राणभृत् प्राणजीवनः तत्त्वं तत्त्ववितेकात्मा जन्म मृत्युचरार्तिकः भूर्भुवः स्वस्तरुस्तारः सविता प्रपितामहः यज्ञो यज्ञपतिर्यज्वा यज्ञाङ्गो यज्ञवाहनः यज्ञभृत्यज्ञकृत्यग्नि यज्ञभृत्यज्ञसाधनः यज्ञान्तकृत् यज्ञगुह्यमन्नमन्नादयेव च आत्मयोनि स्वयं जातो वैखानः सामगायनः देवकीनन्दन षष्ठा शिटीश पापनाशनः शङ्खबृन्नन्दकी चक्री शाङ्गदन्वागदाधरः रथाङ्गपाणिरक्ष्योभ सर्वप्रहरणायुधः सर्वप्रहरणायुध ॐ नमः इति वनमालिकदीशाङ्की शङ्की चक्री च नन्दकी श्रीमान् नारायणो विष्णुर्वासुदेवोऽभिरक्षतु वनमालिकदीशाङ्की शङ्की चक्री च नन्दकी श्रीमान् नारायणो विष्णुर्वासुदेवोऽभिरक्षतु वनमालिकदीशाङ्की शङ्की चक्री च नन्दकी श्रीमान् नारायणो विष्णुर्वासुदेवोऽभिरक्षतु श्रीवासुदेवोऽभिरक्षतु ॐ नमः इतीदं कीर्तनीयस्य केशवस्य महात्मनः नाम्नां सहस्रं दिव्यानाम् अशिक्षेण प्रकीर्तितं य इदं शृणुयात् नित्यं यश्चापि परिकीर्तयेत् नाशुभं प्राप्नुयात् किञ्चित् सौमुद्रेह च मानवः वेदान्तको ब्राह्मणस्य क्षत्रियो विजयी भवेत् वैश्यो धनसमुद्रस्य शूद्रा सुखमवाप्नुयात् धर्मार्थी प्राप्नुयात् धर्ममर्थार्थी चार्थमाप्नुयात् कामानवाप्नुयात् कामी प्रजाति चाप्नुयात् प्रजाम् भक्तिमान्यः सतोताय स्तुतिस्तद्गतमानसः सहस्रं वासुदेवस्य नाम्नामेकत् प्रकीर्तयेत् यश प्राप्नोति विपुलं याति प्राधान्यमेव च अचलां श्रियमाप्नोति श्रेय प्राप्नोति न भयं क्वचिदाप्नोति वीर्यं तेजश्च विन्दति भवत्यरोगो द्युतिमान् बलरूपगुणान्वितः रोगार्तो मुच्यते रोगात् बद्धो मुच्येत बन्धनात् भयान्मुच्येत भीतस्तु मुच्येतापन्न आपदः दुर्गान्यतितरत्याशु पुरुषः पुरुषोत्तमं स्तुवन्नाम सहस्रेण नित्यं भक्तिसमन्वितः वासुदेवाश्रयो मर्त्यो वासुदेवपरायणः सर्वपापविशुद्धात्मा याति ब्रह्म सनातनम् न वासुदेव भक्तानाम् अशुभं विद्यते क्वचित् जन्म मृत्युजरा व्याधि भयं नैवोपजायते इमं स्तवमधीयान श्रद्धा भक्तिसमन्वितः युज्येतात्मसुखं शान्तिः श्रीदति स्मृतिकीर्तिभिः न क्रोधो न च मात्सर्यं न लोभो नाशुभा मतिः भवन्ति कृतपुण्यानां भक्तानां पुरुषोत्तमे द्यौसजन्धार्कनक्षत्राखं दिशो भूर्महोदतिः वासुदेवस्य वीर्येण वृदतानि महात्मनः ससुरासुरगन्धर्वं सयक्षोरगराक्षसम् जगद्वशे वर्तते तं कृष्णः सचरराचरम् इन्द्रियाणि मनोबुद्धिर्सत्त्वं तेजोबलं द्युतिः वासुदेवात्मकान्याहुः क्षेत्रं क्षेत्रज्ञ एव च सर्वागमानामाचार प्रथमं परिकल्पते आचारप्रभवो धर्मो धर्मस्य प्रभुरच्युतः ऋषयः पितरो देवा महाभूतानि धातवः जङ्गमां जङ्गमं जेदं जगन्नारायणोद्भवम् योगो ज्ञानं तथा साङ्ख्यं विद्या शिल्पादिकर्म च वेदाश्राष्टानि विज्ञान एतत् सर्वं जनार्दनात् एको विष्णोर्महद्भूतं पृथक् भूताननेक्वशः त्रिलोकान् व्यापभुक्तात्मा भुक्ते विश्वभुवव्ययः इमं स्तवं भगवतोर्विष्णोर्व्यासेन कीर्तितं पतेत्यैच्छेत् पुरुषश्रेयः प्राप्तुं सुखानि च विश्वेश्वरमजं देवं जगत्प्रभुमव्ययम् भजन्ति ये पुष्कराक्षं न ते यान्ति पराभवम् न ते यान्ति पराभव ॐ नमः इति श्री अर्जुन उवाच Padmapatra Visalaksha Padmanabhasurottama Bhaktanam Tratra Bhavajanardana Shri Bhagavanu Vacha Yomam Nama Sahasrena Stotumicchati Pandava Shohamekena Shlokena Stutayevana Samshayaha Stutayevana Samshaya Om Namayiti Shri Vyasa Vacha Vasanad Vasudevasya Vasitam Bhuvanatrayam Sarvabhutani Vasosi Vasudeva Namostute Shri Vasudeva Namostute Om Namayiti Parvatya Vacha Kenopayena Lakuna Vishnor Nama Sahasrakam Patyate Panditei Nityam Shotrumichhamyaham Prabho Shri Ishvara Vacha Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tattulyam Rama Nama Varanane Shri Rama Nama Varanana Om Namayiti Brahmo Vacha Namostvavantaya Sahasramurtaye Sahasrapadakshishirurubahave Sahasranamne Purushaya Shashvate Sahasrakoti Yugadharine Namaha Sahasrakoti Yugadharine Nama Om Namahiti Shri Sanjaya Uvacha Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno Yatra Partho Tanurtaraha Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhute Dhruva Nitirmatir Mama Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Ananyas Chintayantu Mam Ye Jana Paryupasate Tesham Nityabhiyuktanam Yogakshemam Vahamyaham Paritranaya Sadhunam Vinashaya Shadushkrutam Dharma Samsthapanatharya Sambhavami Yuge Yuge Artha Vishana Stitilascha Bhita Goreshu Chapyashu Vartamanaha Samkirtinarayana Shabdamartam Vimukta Dukha Sukhino Bhavantu Kaina Vacha Manasendriyerva Buddhyatmana Va Prakriti Swabhavat Karomi Yadyat Sakalam Parasmai Narayanayerti Samarpayami Sarvam Shri Krishna Arpanamastu Shri Vishnu Sahasranama Stotram Samaptam Om Tat Sat Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Well done, beautifully done as always. Would you like to read through some of the verses like you do?
Yes, Prabhuji, let me pull up the list.
Thank you.
Okay, so we read the Dhyana Shloka and until the last Ekadasi, and today we actually start from the Lord's names, and it begins from exactly where we are starting today. So let's just do about 8 verses.
Yeah, that's good.
Shloka 1 to Shloka 8. Harihi Om. Om Vishwam Vishnurvashatkaro Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhu Bhuta Krit Bhuta Bhavo Bhutatma Bhuta Bhavanaha. Would anybody like to try, or shall I go into the meanings?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Mataji, Radhaji, Radhika ji. Please, can I try, please?
Yes, Mataji, please.
Vishwa Vishnu Vastastkaro Bhuta Bhavya Tat Prabhu Bhuta Kuta Bhuta Bhutravo Bhutatma Bhuta Bhavanaha. Hare Krishna.
Bhuta Krit Bhuta Brit. But they are beautiful names, these names. So let's go through.
Thank you.
Vishwam, the all, the whole of the universe. Vishnu, he who pervades everything. We all know Lord Vishnu. Vashatkaraha, for whom the sacrificial verses are uttered in the yajnas. So we begin with a word that indicates sacrifice. Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhu, the one who is the master of the past, present, and the future. Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhu. Bhuta Krit, the creator and destroyer of all existences in the universe. Bhuta Bhrid, the one who supports or sustains or governs the universe. Bhavaha, pure existence. Bhutatma, the essence of beings. Bhuta Bhavanaha, he who originates and develops all elements. I'd just like to share a little bit about this particular name of the Lord, Bhuta Bhrid. Apparently, the Lord really likes this name. And there is a story, there's a pastime where there was a very poor Brahmin who was suffering from poverty, especially food poverty. And he would always go to the nearby temple to eat some prasadam. And it was in a South Indian temple. And in South India, one of the famous prasadams, like khichdi, is very popular in the north of the country. Something called Puliyan Jadam. Puliyan Jadam means, they often refer to it as tamarind rice. It's a little bit sour, spicy, spiced rice. Puliyan Jadam is called tamarind rice. And the belief is that the Lord loves tamarind rice. So he would go and he would collect food from there, and whatever remnants were there, he would take it for his family. And so a few people were observing that this Brahmin is coming every day to collect the food. They didn't like it because, they wanted to keep the food. They wanted to give it to people who would offer them some Lakshmi instead of a Brahmin who would just come, bow before the Lord, take some prasadam and go. So they schemed. They schemed some politicians who were around. They schemed and they made sure that it becomes a system where the Brahmin was discouraged from coming to collect prasadam. And the Brahmin said, okay, fine, this is the wish of the Lord, so I'll go hungry. And he went home. And then another fellow Brahmin said that, why don't you chant just one shloka from the Vishnu Sahasranam, just one shloka every day with a lot of bhava and meaning, and listen to it as you chant, like we chant the Mahamantra. And that was this shloka. Vishwam Vishnur Vashatkaro Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhu Bhuta Krit Bhuta Bhritbhavo Bhutatma Bhuta Bhavanaha. So the Brahmin started chanting, and slowly there was a lot of money coming into his house. There was food, abundance. And at the temple, they would cook so much, and within the first 5 minutes, that food will be gone. And so they were very curious to find out why this was happening. And then they learned that the food is actually, that the Lord has actually been merciful to the one who has more devotion. That's where there is abundance, not where there is a lot of greed or money. And the Lord was particularly very, very merciful because he heard from the Brahmin this name, which the Brahmin involuntarily chanted, one who supports or sustains or governs the universe. Because everything that we eat or we don't eat, everything from nature, including water, everything is Krishna, as he says in the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, thank you. We move on to the next one. Bhutatma Paramatma cha Muktanam Paramagatihi Avyaya Purusa Shakshi Kshetrajño Shareva cha.
Oh, thank you for sharing that pastime, by the way. That was amazing.
Thank you. Yogini Mataji?
Yes. Bhutatma Paramatma cha Muktanam Paramagate Avyayah Purusha Sakshi Kshetra Akshara Eva cha. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Bhutatma, one whose nature is purity, whose purity by himself. Paramatma, he who is the supreme one, the Paramatma, greatest soul. Muktanam Paramagatihi, the highest goal of the liberated ones. What is the gati for the liberated ones? Paramatma, Muktanam Paramagatihi. Avyayaha, one for whom there is no decay. Purushaha, one who abides in the body, or Pura. Sakshi, one who witnesses everything. Kshetrajna, the knower of the field or the body. Akshara, he who is without destruction. Yogo yoga vidam neta pradhana purusheshwaraha narasimha vapushriman keshava purushottamaha. Must be recognizing many names in this one. Okay.
Yeah, amazing. Nisingha.
Is anybody wants to read, or it's okay if I read?
Go ahead, Mataji.
Thank you. Yogo yoga vindama neta pradhana purusheshwaraha narasimham vapuha srimana keshava purushottama. Hare Krishna.
So very common names, very big versions of the Lord. Keshavaha, Narasimha, Shriman. So let's see the meanings. Yogaha, one attainable through yoga. Yoga Vidam Neta, the master of those who are established in the above mentioned yoga. Pradhana Purusheshwaraha. So he's Paramatma, which is the greatest soul, and he's also the greatest human, the master of Pradhana or Prakriti or Purusha or Jiva, the greatest Jiva, the Pradhana Jiva, the first. Nobody older or nobody more powerful than Mahavishnu. Narasimha Vapuhu, one in whom the bodies of a man and a lion are combined. Narasimha. Shriman, one on whose chest goddess Shri always dwells. Shri Krishna, Shriman. Keshavaha, one whose kesha or locks are beautiful. And also one who destroyed the Kesava demon. It's a whole quality as well as a whole pastime in that one word. Purushottamaha, the greatest among all Purushas. Sarva Shivasthanur Bhutadhirnitiravyayah Sambhavo Bhavano Bharta Pradhava Prabhurishwaraha.
सर्वः शिवः स्थाणो भूतादिनिर्धरव्यः सम्भवो भावनो भर्ता प्रभुरीश्वरः. हरे कृष्ण.
Sarvaha. Sarvaha, the omniscient source of all existence, all, everything, Sarva. Sharvaha, destroyer. Shivaha, one pure. Sthanur, one who is steady, immovable, changeless, ever youthful. Bhutadihi, source of all elements or existing things. So this Bhuta is a very important name of the Lord. Bhuta Krit, Bhuta Brit, Bhutadihi. Nidhir Avyayaha, the changeless or indestructible being in whom the whole universe becomes merged and remains in seminal condition at the time of pralaya or cosmic dissolution. We know that annihilation will happen with the Lord at some point. Sambhavaha, one born out of his own will as incarnation. Bhavanaha, one who generates the fruits or karmas of all jivas for them to enjoy. Bharta, one who supports the universe as its substratum. Prabhavaha, one from whom all the great elements have their birth, or one who has exalted births as incarnations. Prabhuhu, very simple term. Prabhuhu, hey Prabhu, one who is an adept in all rights. We also refer to our god brothers as Prabhu, with the belief that they are holy souls who are always engaged in Krishna's service. So one who is adept in all rights. Ishwaraha, one who has unlimited lordliness or power over all other things. Ishvara. Swayambhu Shambhuraditya Pushkaraksho Mahaswanaha Anadhiridarodhata Vidhathata Turuttamaha.
स्वयंभुः शम्भोरादित्यः पुष्कराक्षो महास्वनः अनादिनिधिनो धाता विधाता धारुत्तमः. हरे कृष्ण.
Swayambhu, one who exists by himself, uncaused by any other. Shambhu, one who bestows happiness on devotees. Aditya, the golden-hued person in the sun's orb. Pushkaraksha, one who has eyes resembling the petals of Pushkara or lotus. Mahaswanaha, one from whom comes the great sound, the Veda. Anandi Nidhanaha, the one existence that has neither any birth or death. Dhatha, one who is the support of the universe. Vidhata, he who generates karmas and their fruits. Dhataruttamaha, the ultimate support of everything. Aprameyo Rishikesha Padmanabho Maraprabhu Vishwakarma Manustvashtha Stavishta Staviro Dhruvaha.
अप्रमेयो ऋषिकेशः पद्मनाभो वरप्रभुः विश्वकर्मा मनुस्तस्त्वष्टा स्थविष्टः स्थविरो ध्रुवः. हरे कृष्ण.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Again, very popular names: Aprameya, Rishikesha, Padmanabha, Vishwakarma. Aprameyaha, one who is not measurable or understandable by any of the accepted means of knowledge like sense, perception, inference, etc. Cannot measure, limitless. Rishikesha, the master of the senses, or he under whose control the senses subsist. Padmanabhaha, he who in whose navel, Nabhi, the lotus Padma, the source of the universe, stands. Amara Prabhu, the master of Amaras, or the deathless ones, that is, the Devas. He's the master of all the Devas. All Devas report to him. He's the CEO. Vishwakarma, he whose karma, work, has resulted in all that exists. Vishwam, or he whose power of creation is unique and wonderful. Vishwakarma. Beautiful name. Manuhu, he who thinks. Vasta, he who makes all beings shrunken. Tanukarana, at the time of cosmic dissolution. Stavishtaha, he who excels in everything in bulk or substantiality. Staviraha Dhruvaha, eternal one, being the most ancient. It is taken as a single phrase, the name along with the qualification. He's the eternal one. Staviraha Dhruvaha, eternal. Okay, 7th verse, we'll just do 8 today. Agraya Shashvata Krishno Lohitaksha Pratartanaha Prabhutastika Kuthama Pavitram Mangalam Param.
अग्रः शाश्वतः कृष्णो लोहिताक्षः प्रतर्दना प्रभुस्त्रीकुबान्धम पवित्रं मण्डलं परम्. हरे कृष्ण.
Agrayaha, one who cannot be grasped by the organs or knowledge or conceived by the mind. Saswataha, one who exists at all times, permanent, Shashvatam. One who exists at all times, every yuga is there. Even after we won't be there, he will be there. Krishnaha. And Krishna, as we know, means many things. Krishna means dark, means the all-attractive, means the existence, knowledge, bliss. Om Tat Sat. Lohitakshaha, one whose eyes are tinged red. Lohitakshaha. Often we've seen Balagopal or Krishna's eyes have a little tinge of red. Very beautiful eyes. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's paintings, if we look at it, he has a Suvarna Varna, golden body, but his eyes have a tinge of Lohitakshaha. Pratardhanaha, destroyer of all at the time of cosmic dissolution. Prabhutaha, great because of unique qualities like omnipotence, omniscience, etc. Trikakub Dhama, he who is the support, dharma, of the three regions above, below, and in the middle. Pavitram, that which is purified, that which is pure and purifies everything. Mangalam Param, supremely auspicious. Mangalam. ईशान प्राणत प्राणो ज्येष्ठ श्रेष्ठ प्रजापतिः हिरण्यगर्भो भूगर्भो माधवो मधुसूदनः.
ईशानः प्राणदः प्राणो ज्येष्ठः श्रेष्ठः प्रजापति हिरण्यगर्भो भूगर्भो माधवो मधुसूदनः. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. One of my favorite shlokas, and you'll know why. Ishanaha, he who controls and regulates everything. Pranadaha, one who bestows or activates the prana, the vital energy. Prana, the supreme being. Pranadaha, one who activates the prana, and he himself is pranaha, the supreme being. Jeshtaha, he's the eldest of all, for there is nothing before him. And he is also Shreshtaha, one who is deserving the highest of praise and also among the smallest of beings. So that's the beauty of the Lord. He can expand himself to becoming very, very big. He's the oldest of all, and he can also be the smallest. Prajapatihi, the master of all living beings, because he is Ishwaraha. Hiranyagarbha, one who is the Atman of even Brahma, the creator. Bhugarbha, one who has got the world within himself. Bhu, the whole Bhuloka is in his Garbha. So Bhugarbha. Madhavaha, the consort of Ma or Mahalakshmi, or one who is fit to be known through Madhu Vidya. Madhusudanaha, the destroyer of the demon Madhu. Okay, we shall stop there and we shall continue from.
Why is that your favorite verse?
Among my favorites, because Prabhu Jeshta Shreshta.
That's so nice.
So nice. It's so nice, and it's so nobody can be that. Such a wonderful quality of the Lord, which we should stop and think about. The smallest of atoms, creatures, smallest of everything, and the greatest and the oldest of everything.
Yes, incredible. It's like the Lord is, omnipotent, omnipresent, is everywhere, he knows everything, yet he is also the most humble. And it's very contradictory. How can you marry the two? He's all powerful, yet he's all humble as well. But that's him. So like you're saying, Shresha Jesta it's almost contradictory, but that's him. He can do anything he wants.
Yes.
And that's his sweetness.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Well, thank you. Thank you for reading through that and giving us some insights and nice pastime as well. Appreciate that.
Prabhuji or Radhika ji, you do English in English all this Vishnu Sahasranam with explain with the meaning on that. Do you have in a Hindi or a Gujarati please or a Sanskrit?
Yeah, Mataji, I can look for you. And you want the meanings, do you?
Yeah, with the sloka and the meaning, yes, please.
I will check, Mataji, for sure, and I shall share it with you.
Thank you very much. Because when I listen, I chant with that as well, but meaning wise in English is a little bit difficult for me.
Sure, I'll look it up and I'll share it with Prabhu if that is okay.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you. Thank you for the story and Vishnu Sahasranam. Very nice.
Thank you, Mataji. You chant so well. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, everybody. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank
Are you back?
Radhika.
Are
Thank
you
you.
back? Dr. Limaji, are you back from New York?
Yes, last night I came back,
Oh,
Prabhuji.
okay. Welcome back. So we'll see you
Thank
on
you.
Saturday. We'll see you on Saturday.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Very good. And thank you, Leena, for wonderful darshan. Beautiful.
It's nice, really nice.
All Krishna's mercy, Prabhu.
Mhm.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Prabhuji Mata.
Thank you. Thank you, Yogini. Hare Krishna. Thank
Thank you,
Radhika.
Prabhuji.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Hare
Bye.
Krishna. Thank you. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you all.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.